I think the shades have a whole new meaning. Boys and girls, listen up. I pride myself on many things. I believe my parents raised me well. They raised me to be a man of great humility, and I'm going to take that humility and throw it into the garbage disposal. Roll the tape.
Let's talk about offensive coordinators for a second here before we hop off, because I have a list of people in my mind. There's another guy out there. His name is Kliff Kingsbury. Ever heard of him? Kliff Kingsbury can cook up some offense now. He might not be a great head coach, but that's just something to consider.
This was something I cooked up in the lab way before the season was even over. I discussed the possibility of this man right here, Kliff Kingsbury. I don't think Clifford is his full name, and if it isn't, I profusely apologize to the Kingsbury family. Joining the Raiders staff and being Antonio Pierce's offensive coordinator. Why did I surmise this crazy idea? Well, it's threefold. Number one, the air raid offense. Number two, he was a former head coach who could help Antonio Pierce out with the decision making. And number three, USC offensive assistant quarterback coach Caleb Williams. Ever heard of him? Those are the three things we're going to talk about today. Obviously, I love this. I wouldn't have brought it up if I didn't think it was absolutely amazing. He is the guy to transform the Raiders offense to take the next step, blah, blah, blah. There's one thing I need to discuss before I hit those three pillars that I said. Is this the end of Josh Jacobs? Absolutely not. This guy, when he got in the red zone, ran the football. He did not screw around. He had people like Kenyon Drake and James Conner who were feeding the Cardinals with baby zone, 10 and in touchdowns. And that's what we need when we get into the red zone and the baby zone. We don't need to get creative. Let's just pound the rock and get the football into pay dirt. The air raid offense. Do you need a mobile quarterback for the air raid offense? No, you do not. Does Justin Fields' air raid offense sound like a normal thing? No, it does not. Does that mean it's not going to work that way? No, it does not. Here's all I know. You need somebody that can wing it, and you need somebody that can be accurate. Is that Aiden O'Connell? It could be. I don't want to give up on Aiden. I've been pounding that drum of do not just throw Aiden to the wolves. We need him in case a rookie is not ready to play or a rookie gets hurt. Injury prone, Michael Penix. We'll get to him in a second. We need someone who has a strong arm and who can drop it in the bucket. Caleb Williams has a strong arm. Jane Daniels can drop it in the bucket. They don't mesh together with the other things that the other person has, but they can be molded and sculpted. Drake May's decent. Bo Nix, Penix is my guy. If we can somehow stay at 13 and draft Penix, I would probably cry on draft day. I will take a short of me, tears in my eyes, crying if we drafted Michael Penix in the exact spot that we are staying in right now. If you watch my new Madden series, I traded up to 2 and then back to 9, got a bunch of seconds or whatever, and drafted Michael Penix and a Dunze. So you know how I stand on the matter of who we should have as our quarterback. Does Kliff Kingsbury mean we are going to trade up for Caleb Williams? Maybe. I'm not going to lie to you. Apparently, Caleb Williams doesn't want to play in Chicago. I mean, would you want to play in Chicago? Probably not. No offense to Chicago. And listen, we're not exactly the staple of a great organization either. But Chicago, it's tough right now in Chicago, okay? It's tough. It's cold. It's windy. Aaron Rodgers owns you. The whole 9 yards. Jordan Love, ownership passed. We get it. It's tough because if you trade up for this guy, he just has to be the guy. And you've increased his odds of him being that guy with his quarterback coach now coaching him for the rest of his career, presumably, if he becomes a good player and stays for the Raiders for 10 plus years. I don't know if I'm comfortable trading up and trading away everything, hinging on this guy being the guy. But if we do it, I can't lie to you, I would be excited. Caleb Williams is not my first choice, but with the air raid offense, people keep saying air raid offense, that's what it's called, I'll be okay with it. I do think we need to take a quarterback. Okay, it just is what it is. Aiden, I love you, but it is what it is. We need to have competition. Do we sign a Kirk Cousins? Do we trade for Justin Fields? All things we need to be commenting in the comments below. Tell me what to do with the quarterback. This video isn't just about Kliff Kingsbury, though. It's about everything that Telesco and Mark Davis and AP have done as a collective unit to make sure that we are in the best position to succeed as far as the decision making and the schematics of the roster and the playbooks are concerned. Antonio Pierce is a man of great intelligence. How do I know this? He knows what he does not know. He brought in Tom Coughlin and Marvin Lewis during the season to help him manage these games, and he only got better. The Dolphins game was really, really mismanaged by him, and ever since then, he's brought in these guys to help him. And now with Tom Coughlin as an advisor, Marvin Lewis on the staff in some capacity as an assistant head coach sort of role, he's been to playoff games. He's won divisions. He knows what to do in sticky situations. And Antonio Pierce will know what to do eventually, but right now he hasn't had that much experience. So it's only right for AP to surround himself with former head coaches like Tom Coughlin, like Marvin Lewis, like Kliff Kingsbury, like Hugh Jackson. Did I misspeak? Here's how I feel about the Hugh Jackson of it all. He wasn't great for us. The Carson Palmer trade, not ideal. Not ideal. He wasn't a great coach in, Cleveland. I almost forgot where he was coaching. But here's the thing. He's not our offensive coordinator. He's not even an assistant head coach. He's just another guy in a room that brings experience, head coaching experience. And he's a guy who did some good things for the Raiders. I mean, we all remember him collapsing, crying on the field when we beat the Texans, 10 guys on the field the day after Al Davis passed away. That is a moment in Raiders history. And to have him on the sidelines, nostalgia is fun, right? It's fun. And he's just another guy, a voice in the room, a guy who's been in the league a long time, close with Marvin Lewis, so probably close with AP, who can help Antonio make the right decisions. And Tom Telesco, let me tell you this. Him and Kingsbury are going to be in the lab. What should we do offensively? Do we get rid of Hunter Renfrow? Do we go after someone like an Adunze or an Arbors in the draft? Is Trey Tucker the guy to lead us into the future slot-wise? Do we roll with Zamir White instead of Josh Jacobs? Jacoby Myers, what are we doing with him? There's a lot to figure out with the offense, but it's good problems to have. And the main issue is this, the quarterback. So I need you guys to run up the comments below. Who do you want as our quarterback? What are your thoughts on all these different, oh my God, Patrick Graham's coming back, I totally forgot. Maybe the biggest acquisition was an acquisition that we didn't have to make, which was getting a new defensive coordinator, because Patrick Graham, the defensive coordinator, is back. Our offensive coordinator is Kliff Kingsbury. We have multiple advisors with Hugh Jackson, Marvin Lewis, Tom Coughlin. A lot of wins there, mostly without Hugh, but still a lot of wins combined, still stands. We have AP, the master motivator, and Telesco wheeling and dealing. What more could you ask for? Now I go back to the comments. Did you want somebody else? Did you want a Clint Kubiak? Did you want a Chip Kelly? What are your thoughts on us looking at Penix Senior Bowl? Apparently he's been playing pretty well. Who should be our quarterback of the future? All things that need to be discussed in the comments below. Last thing I'll say is this. If you want to support the channel further, link is in the description below to go to my Patreon. A Patreon is a thing that creators have like me to give you guys more content for a low price per month. $1, $5, $10. There's even a $25, which you get a lot of stuff. You can get your name at the end of the credits like these guys. They're executive producers of this show because they support the channel. You can get early videos, ad-free content, blah, blah, blah. You name it. Discord access. Super Bowl's coming up. Do we even care? The commercial should be fun. Halftime show, Usher's cool. Oh my gosh. Anyway, patreon.com/ALLaBorde Raiders. If you feel inclined to support the channel further, go check that out. If not, you're just supporting me enough by watching the video, dropping likes, dropping comments. Please be sure to subscribe. We're trying to get to 5,000. It is free after all, no charges to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.